Hey everybody, Taylor Lyles with the Greenville Home Builders Association, and this is the Think Big podcast. Good morning and welcome to the latest episode of the Think Big podcast. My name is Taylor Lyles, your Chief Executive Officer of the Home Builders Association, and I'm super excited. Today we have a very special guest and current board member, Rob Young with Heritage Custom Builders. Rob, thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and join me on this.
Yep.
For the listeners, tell them a little bit about who you are, what y'all build, where you build. Give us the skinny on it.
Yeah, so Heritage Custom Builders, we're a luxury or custom home builder and remodeler located here in Greenville. Been doing this for, probably 30 years now. We build anything from Greenville all the way to Lake Kiwi, so and both on the remodel side and the new builds.
Excellent. So target price point, what is your average price point on remodels and luxury customs?
So out of the remodel projects we currently have in progress, I think our smallest one's 1.4.
On a remodel?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And our new custom homes range anywhere from the low $2 million up over $3 million.
So Rob, I know I can't afford to have you build a home.
I can't afford my home. So that's okay. It's
I love
all right.
it. What got you into building?
Gosh, necessity probably. Struggled through college and just decided to go get a job working for a custom home builder remodeler here in town.
Okay.
Out of complete necessity, and ended up connecting with the owner really well, and just kind of really applied myself. I started off sweeping floors and picked up the carpentry tools and learned how to use them and got very proficient at using them very quickly. And because of my relationship with Trey, he kind of provided me opportunities I probably would not have gotten if I did not have that relationship with him.
Yeah.
So I went literally from a carpenter's helper to a project superintendent within 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Kind of fast-tracked you.
Yeah, really did.
So did you have the love for custom home before college? Or?
I did. I was taking construction engineering at Greenville Tech way back in the day when it first started out. This is back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
So that was it was kind of on my radar to get into home building. I had my dad's brother, my uncle, is a large-scale contractor in Indianapolis, and always had aspirations to do that because of him. So it was kind of on my radar, but like I said, the job was more out of necessity.
Yeah.
At that point.
Was he more residential or commercial?
He was residential, so he was a lot more on the remodel side of things. We were remodeling a lot of notable homes in Greenville, very high-end work, very quality-minded, design-driven projects.
Excellent.
So that's where I kind of cut my teeth, and he actually helped me start and get my builder's license when I was about 24, 25 years old.
Really?
Didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I had all that, and he actually fed me my first couple projects in the Chanticleer area and Augusta Road area, and it just took off from there.
Has it always been luxury?
Always.
Luxury is key.
You know, I don't know that it's ever been intentional, but it's just always been my box, and I've always just kind of stayed in my box.
Yep. So always that $1 million plus?
Well, back then the prices were a lot less. I mean, back then to do a $200,000 remodel was earth-shattering.
Yep.
So a lot of people down off Augusta Road were doing those remodels like that. And my business was built on reputation.
Yep.
So, and still is to this day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So fast forward, 24, you got your builder's license, built luxury custom, kind of turned a little more to remodel.
So it's always been heavy on remodels. It's been a little bit, the work wise, it's been heavy on the remodels. Volume wise, houses typically cost more money back then. We were building houses in Thornblade, in Chanticleer, and a big ticket on those houses was $500,000 or $600,000.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
a $2 million house now.
it was so simple back then, and this is a true story. I had contracts that were pre-printed at $125 a square foot, and we would literally fill them out on the hood of the truck with the customer's name and address and sign them, and then go figure out what it looked like and build it.
Really?
It was a lot simpler back then. There wasn't, the options were very limited back then.
Of course.
You
got tile floors, you got real hardwoods, you got this.
yeah, and
that was it.
people really didn't, it was just oak hardwoods. It was just, a 6-panel door. They weren't really interested in all the options. Countertops were very simple.
Yep.
So as time has progressed and the internet and all those things have happened, and I started off, there was no internet. Fax machines and word processors, and that was it. And I've watched it progress all the way through internet and Instagram and Pinterest and we have portals now for clients and construction management software. So it's completely different than it was just 10 years ago. But part of I think the key to our success is willing to adapt and learn new ways and new models and new processes along the way.
Yep.
That's been a big key to our longevity is being able to adapt as time goes on. We went through a downturn, and it's just a matter of adapting to what's available.
Yep.
So
Heritage now looks a little different than before.
Right.
A little more, your luxury price points higher. Mm-hmm. You're doing different styles. Mm-hmm. What is the Heritage kind of build style, or is that dictated truly by the client?
So it's all design driven now. So
okay.
I guess I've kind of matured into be more of a process driven guy. So we align clients with an architect that kind of fits their design, and it can be anything from a modern to traditional. 2 years ago, I just built a new home that was modeled after a Queen Anne Victoria house that the clients owned in Ohio. So it had the round turret on it, and it was just very old school.
I bet that turned out gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Lots of people don't have that taste or that style, so they don't relate to it.
Yep.
But all oak trim, stain, lots of wood in the house, very vibrant colors that most people wouldn't put in their homes now. But we've been able to, and it gets back to adapting. Construction practices and quality control and things like that. We just want to build a great product for our clients and give them some outstanding service.
Yep. So going through, client comes to you and says, hey, Heritage, I want to build a house with you.
Yeah.
What does that process look like? I know every client's different, but what is the Heritage process for a client?
So we love to find clients that are kind of in the conception stage. They have an idea, they want to build a house, they've kind of set their mind on that. They're somewhat informed with cost of new construction.
Yep.
So we love to find them before they've actually hit the design avenue. So pre-architects, pre-interior design. We like to have people come in and talk to us about that and what that looks like. We have a pre-construction process, which most of my peers have adopted. And during that process, we help get them aligned with the right architects, right designers, landscape architects, engineers, put the build team together out of the gate before we really start anything. And we participate in all those different aspects of the planning
Yep.
along the way. We're kind of the guardians of their galaxy a little bit. We know their budget and we understand that. We've had some earnest conversations about money
Yep.
early on, so we come alongside them and just give them a build feasibility and a cost perspective to what they're talking about doing.
That's great. So you kind of, with them coming in with a concept, you can then direct them to, I was about to say dictate, direct them
It's a
to,
little dictation.
yeah,
Right.
but kind of help steer them to the right architect.
Yes.
Because every architect's different.
That's right.
Every designer's different.
Yep.
You know who you've worked with in the past, and you kind of understand
Right.
who they're going to go with. So client comes in, you figure out, all right, here's 3 architects.
Right.
And then we start building the plan.
Yep.
Are you working with the architect to build that plan?
So we're coming alongside the homeowners. So we try to get them in line with somebody that, with architects and designers are creative people, and that's what you're hiring them to do, is be creative. But they all have a style and a taste, and some of them can kind of adapt and move in different directions from that style. So just depending on what the homeowner is looking for, and by then they've got Pinterest pages and everything else
Yeah.
established, and so we try to get them in line with somebody that's going to suit their needs as far as style is concerned, and we come alongside them during the entire process. We attend all the design meetings.
That's great.
Yeah, we're very, very involved in the front end of the projects.
So I know that you give an architect free reign and they design this house. How's that conversation go with saying, hey, this is 10 million, not 2 million?
Yeah, so we have those conversations a lot. And there again, creative people, you're hiring them to be creative. So we had a project several years ago, old historic house, stone house. We did a remodel, and we came in for the design meeting, and the architect drew a 2-story glass addition off the side. And clients fell in love with it. It was beautiful, but it just wasn't in the budgets to do something like that. So most of these architects and designers I've established relationships with over the years. So it's a very soft-spoken no, if you will.
Of course.
Yeah.
Builders, trades, realtors. If you're looking for a flooring partner you can trust, look no further. I'm here to tell you about All About Flooring. All About Flooring is a family-owned business with 3 generations of owners that know the flooring business inside and out. They work in residential and commercial projects for both new builds and remodels by providing high-quality customer service and installation for carpet, area rugs, hardwoods, laminate, luxury vinyl, and more. Y'all, they even provide professional carpet, tile, and upholstery cleaning. At All About Flooring, they're more than just a flooring provider. They're your partner in delivering top-tier results that your customers will absolutely love. You can find their website linked in the show notes, or visit their 9,000 square foot showroom at 2111 North Pleasantburg Drive. Now, let's get back to the show. Hey, we can do this. This is stunning.
Right.
But you need another $2 million.
Right.
Now, if you want to spend it,
Right.
by all means.
Yeah.
We'll even put a Corvette in the driveway.
We have clients that opt in to spend more money. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just in that market. So providing them with options without providing them every option that's available is key.
Yeah.
Anticipating the needs of the clients goes a long way. We're
Yep.
kind of able to begin with the end in mind with our projects, and then just kind of reverse engineer everything to fit what that end product's supposed to be.
Fit their budget.
Yeah.
So, knowing the budget, what does that process typically take? What does that timeline look like? So, from conception to, hey, this is your price, we've got the land. What does that time typically look like? And I know it fluctuates.
It does fluctuate. I think on the short side, probably 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
And we've had them last up to 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's a long time. We have hundreds and hundreds of hours in it. And that's kind of why I adopted the pre-construction method. So it's not necessarily, I'm not in the pre-construction business. It's not my model to charge people for that, but
Yep.
but we do ask that they participate and pay a percentage of whatever the budget is towards that, because we do spend hundreds and hundreds of hours developing all these lines and all these ideas, and it becomes mathematics at a certain point.
Yep.
So we got to have all the data and filter through it all to get to a number.
Well, I mean, just doing a basic takeoff on a
It's monumental.
set of drawings and figuring out your 2x6s, your 2x4s,
Yep.
and down to your,
We count nails. I mean, it's really that sophisticated.
wow,
Yeah.
that's detailed. That's what you get with a luxury custom home builder.
Well, you don't have to, but once you kind of figure out how to do the math on counting nails, it's not. You plug it in a spreadsheet and it happens.
Yep.
So,
So now, do you physically count the nails that get put on the job site, Rob?
no, I do not anymore. So,
Anymore.
but consumable. So the consumable aspect, those are just some of the elements that if you're talking to builders, and we're a fixed price builder, so me capturing all those costs on the front end keeps me profitable, because if I don't, consumables can run $6, $7, $8, $10,000 on a job.
Yeah.
You think about all the rolls of poly we use on a project.
Oh, true.
Where they're $100 a roll, and you can go through a half a dozen rolls in a heartbeat.
Yep.
So all those things, from ram board on the floors and all those little costs, we have to capture those from the front end, and that's kind of where us developing a very thorough spreadsheet that'll walk us through capturing all that stuff.
Now, you touched on you're using a builder CRM.
Yep,
I assume it's Builder
it
Trend.
is Builder Trend.
Pretty pleased with it.
Yes, yeah,
For the most
it
part.
does. It does a lot of things that we had to use multiple different platforms to do. It does keep everything in one place. I guess the easiest way to explain it is we've been given the keys to Ferrari. We just got to figure out how to drive it.
Yeah.
And every builder's going to drive it differently.
Of course.
But it's a critical part of our process now.
Yeah. Well, I think it puts it all in one place, and you can do addendums, from what I understand.
You can.
on
The
Builder
change
Trend.
order aspect to me is worth every penny for what I pay for the monthly subscription for it. But
Yeah.
having everything kind of in one place, and it's not just for me, but for our employees. So when they go looking for something, they're not looking through 4 different cloud storages or searching emails and finding latest versions and things like that.
Yep.
It's a lot of work to maintain it, but it's worth it. The clients love it because half of our clients are remote.
Interesting.
And so I have one client that will send me a text because we missed a job log one day. Well, her and her husband love opening up a bottle of wine and looking at the pictures and just talking about their remodel project,
Really?
So there are some clients that love it like that. I've got another client now that I don't know if he's ever really looked at anything, and that's okay.
You're like, you trust me, I trust you. I'll
Yep.
get
He
it
gets the
done.
invoices and pays them, so that's a win. But he's not interested in job logs. He's not interested in schedules. He's not. He's down the street, so he's right there anyway.
So he probably goes by it.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and he
Every
sends you a text instead of,
Yep.
hey, did this get done? Well, if you checked
Yeah.
your
Job log.
job log,
Yeah.
you would see
Yeah.
that it
Or
got done.
Ask me a question on the budget, and it's like, well, it's in your contract. And schedule, you can see the schedule. So we do give our clients preview to schedules, though I don't offer any completion dates.
Yeah.
They can preview the schedule up to 90 days, which is super
Okay.
helpful. So, yeah.
On a remodel, well, I guess we can't use remodels because timelines on that.
They're actually about the same. So we can actually turn out a remodeler revenue-wise quicker than we can a new build.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we're super efficient at doing remodels. You get to a certain point on a remodel, and it's the same steps and the same sequence of events that a new construction is.
Yep. This is when your demo goes in. This is when your drywall.
Once
this
you
is
get
when
past framing, it's downhill.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah.
And typically on a new construction, once you get past framing, everything slows down.
Oh, you got to get
perception
roofs
of-
on and veneers on and windows. There's just a lot of different moving parts where a remodel doesn't have any of those things.
We have one of the assets of the association is consumers can call in and they find vetted professionals.
Right.
And the one thing that I always find comical is that the people that care enough and are thankful for the builders that we recommend to them. And they will always say, "Oh, Taylor, the house flew up. It was great.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I saw the house get erected on the framing. They got the exterior on. It's in the dry. And now it's taking forever."
It does, yeah.
And I always laugh because it's just like, it's the same thing from a production home to, it's the same mindset. You see the house pop up and then you're wondering, well, why is it taking 9, 10, 11 months to finish now? The house is built, but it's those minor details and those final touches.
It's
that
almost
take a
like
while.
an upside down bell graph. So everybody's super, super happy when it gets started. And by the time, right before sheetrock goes on, people are getting a little weary. And by the time you do sheetrock, it's super messy.
Yep.
They're at the low point and they start seeing it, the rooms take shape and then some finishes come in and then they get super happy again. So it's pretty common.
You mean the drywall mud all over the floor
All the
and
sheetrock dust.
all the dust? Yeah. They're sitting there going, "Rob, are you going to sweep all this? You
Yeah.
cleaning all this?"
Right. Yeah.
You're running a Dyson through the house.
Yeah, it's part of the consumables we talked about, keeping it clean.
Maybe
So,
that's an idea. Hey, Dyson, if you're listening, you need to make a Dyson shop vac.
well, Festool makes a lot of manufacturers make great dust extraction
Yeah.
systems made for sheetrock. I tend to overdo it and buy the Festools, but
Of course.
yeah.
Listen, Rob, anything worth
They
doing is
work
worth
well.
overdoing.
Yeah. So
So, all right, so we got the house built, clients beyond happy.
Yep.
What does that process for follow-up look like? Let's get real for a second. Are you dumping money into marketing but barely seeing any results? Go Digital can help. Using their marketing matrix, they zero in on your target audience and engage them where it matters the most. Go Digital acts as your full-service marketing team, saving you the hassle and cost of building an entire in-house team or trusting random gurus you found on the internet. It is also important to note that they don't just serve home service businesses. They own one. They've been in your shoes. They know what works because they've lived it. Wondering why I know so much about them? It's because I've been a client for them over a year, and I couldn't be happier with the results. So if you're ready to start winning more leads for less, hit the link in the show notes and schedule a free 20-minute consultation today.
So believe it or not, I hate to say this aloud, but we really don't have any punch work. I very rarely have callbacks.
Really?
That's because I hire good people.
Yep.
I got one Sunday, they have a cracked tile in their bathroom. I mean, they're super simple, easy fixes. Never had a house leak, never had a plumbing leak.
Knock on wood, Rob. Knock on wood.
Yeah, it's we've been very fortunate, but we spent a lot of time making sure that our partners or subcontractors are the people who need to be out there.
Truly
we don't
qualified.
we don't chase price.
Yep.
Some of these subcontractors on my job I've known for 25 years.
Yep.
So very consistent. We don't bid things out. We just don't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
This is who we use, and this is how we do it.
And this is the price.
Yes.
I love it. So, on a remodel, what all will y'all do, or is it kind of?
So
Free reign.
it's strange. We spent it's seasonal. We spent probably I don't know, somewhere between 2015 to 2020 doing a lot of smaller remodels, the $200,000 variety remodels.
Yep.
Kitchens and baths and things like that. And now they've changed. We don't have any marketing plan. We don't target people. We just kind of handle the people that call us. So most of like I said, all of our remodels now are well north of $1 million. So those tend to take a little bit more time on planning
Of course.
and design wise. But yeah,
Well, that's fantastic. Oh, there it is.
there it is.
I said
Mr.
it.
Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Rob, for everybody listening, Rob always gives me a hard time because whenever I answer the phone, he said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm living the dream."
Yes.
So Rob doesn't even ask anymore because he knows that I'm living
I
the
know
dream.
the answer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So before we start to wrap up, tell me about some of the client experiences you've had. What's a job that truly stood out to you?
Oh gosh.
I know I'm putting you on the spot.
You are. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't had any conflict with a client since probably 2000.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
It's been a long time.
incredible.
Well, we're straight up with people and we're honest and
Yep.
we're very intentional. And yeah, I literally have not had any conflict with a client that has not been resolved for 24 years now.
That's beautiful.
So,
There's not a lot of people out there in the market that can say that.
it's strange. I've had my share. I mean, there was a season probably in the late 90s where it was just really, really tough, but it was a different business back then.
Yep.
Builders seem to be, I guess, more valued and less of a commodity now than they used to be. I think changing the process has contributed to that a lot. The calls we used to get were, "Hey, listen, I got a house plan and I'm getting 3 prices," and you just go follow in line and work on some pricing. We're now we're actually interviewing clients. Clients are interviewing us. By the time we sign the pre-construction, we pretty much figured out that we want to work together.
Yep. I think it's interesting that what we've seen is builders have, I guess, come to the realization that not every client is an ideal client.
Right.
Because this isn't a 6-month commitment.
Yep.
This is a multi-year commitment.
Multi-year, lots of money changing hands.
Yeah.
So we've been very fortunate, very blessed that God just brought us the right people at the right time.
Yep. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I hear this year is lining up to be an incredible year for you.
We haven't intentionally been scaling, but we've been scaling every single year for the past 3 years, which is a little bit different. Most of my peers started scaling back when COVID hit.
Yep.
And we flatlined.
Really?
Well, my business is all referrals, so when people stopped being relational,
Yep.
my phone stopped ringing. So we limped along during the entire COVID season with one job.
Wow.
Yeah, and we picked back up to our normal rate, and then doubled that business, and we've doubled it again. So,
Look at next year.
yeah,
I mean, the beautiful part is you're in a market that is healthy, it's thriving, it's growing, and I mean, you got 30 plus people moving here a week right now, and the average ticket price that they're coming in to buy is your range. It's 800,000 plus. I mean, that's what's selling right now.
yep,
You've got your starter home, which is now 280 plus thousand, which is crazy.
yeah,
Which the association's actively working to create streamlined processes with the county, with the city, to get that price down to that. It'll never go below 2,
right,
just because cost of materials,
right,
even with land donated, cost of materials are still driving it above 2.
Yeah.
But if we can get land donated, cost of materials, and the builder paying their bills, I don't want to say profit, because profit can be taken and
right,
misused, and
mismanaged, right.
the word profit just doesn't sound right. I mean, builders are going to build an affordable house, but they're still going to be able to pay their people.
So this should be able to. Margins should remain constant. Most people are super anxious about what builders are making, profits and overhead and a lot of that. But most builders that are seasoned builders that know what they're doing, we're all working in the same kind of margin area.
Yep.
And trying to explain that to people out of the gate who are just out there trying to look, and They're all number driven.
Of course.
And I always tell prospective clients at the end of the day, you get 10 alike builders in the room, you're going to end up at the same price.
Yep.
Within
should.
reason. Yeah, very, very close. So,
Or they miss something.
or they miss something. And I also tell them, hey, listen, you don't want to be on either side of that coin where, they've either overfigured or overcharged you. You don't want that. And you don't want a builder who's underfigured or undercharged you, because those are the horror stories you hear of builders asking for more money or walking off the job, or you don't want either one of those happening.
Yep.
These builders are not they're not a bank. They just don't grow money in the backyard to make up for losses. They'll cut ties and move on, and it causes all kinds of problems.
Yep. Yeah. You mean you don't have a money tree in your backyard?
No, not lately. So we earn ours.
We're trying to figure out how to grow them at the HBA.
Yeah. Find that printer that's just spitting it out.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I mean, the Fed's doing pretty well at spitting it out,
right.
Devaluing the dollar. But so process-driven, communication-oriented, and quality.
Yep.
Those are the three pretty much pillars that we've kind of talked about today.
Right.
Anything else that makes Heritage unique?
It's really, so it is about a process, but it's always about people. I've had a term that I've used for decades now. It's not about the sticks and the bricks, it's about the people.
Yep.
And those people can be clients, they can be subcontractors, they can be, owners like Jeremy and I, or employees. It's all about the people. And the best part about where I'm at in my life, in my profession, is I now have the time to go invest in people relationally, go on the jobs and talk to not just the subcontractor, but all their employees.
Yep.
It's kind of fun, meet the homeowners out there, and they're not hounding me all about the schedules and about this and that. I'm there just to talk to them and make sure they're happy with our process and our management and the communication. And if they have any concerns, we voice them, and any praises, we voice those. And it's a unique place being on a Heritage job. It's really cool. I really enjoyed that. To see grown men into conversation and tell them that they love one another is kind of cool.
Yep.
And so that's the environment or the culture that we've created, and it comes through in every single thing that we do.
I love it.
Yeah.
Culture, you hit on a big one. Culture's key.
Yeah. And I if you ask me how to create a culture, I wouldn't know. But I just go and love on people, and I'm direct with them and deal with them fairly, and yeah.
That's great. So, Rob, for the people listening, if they're interested in starting a conversation with Heritage, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
So there's a lot of different avenues. You can always call Taylor here at the HBA. He can get you connected. We know each other pretty well. We do have websites and Instagram and Facebook, Heritage Custom Builder, singular, builder, not builders, but builder. You can go to any of those avenues, and it'll take you to a questionnaire. You can fill it out, and we do return our phone calls.
That's key.
I hear it every single time I call somebody back. The same day we get an inquiry, you get me, the owner, calling you back. And I can't tell you how many times somebody said, I cannot believe you called me back.
That is one thing that if you said, Taylor, what's one thing that you could fix in the building industry? I would fix callbacks.
I don't understand. It's just a phone call.
It is not even just calling somebody back. It doesn't even have to be the same day.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours.
Yeah. Then I hear stories all the time where they've made inquiries to 10 different builders, and not only did I call them back the first day, but I was the only one to ever call them back.
That's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like we at the association represent over 1,000 members. My phone is nonstop. I have now a 48-hour time period that I try to get back to everybody, and I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
If I've missed a phone call, listen, I'm telling you now on the Think Big podcast, if you have called me,
he will call you back.
and I have missed you, Either call me again
Yep.
and I will get you.
Yep.
So, well, Rob, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. We greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to see what this year and 2027, the year of your presidency of the association, holds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Well, listen, you heard it here. Rob Young, Heritage Custom Builders and Remodelers. Sorry, I got tongue-tied on that
That's
one. If you're excited about this or if you want to reach out to Rob, the tags will be in the comment section. Be sure to check him out on Instagram, Facebook, or his website. And we look forward to seeing you join us at the next Think Big episode. Until then, y'all be safe and go build some good houses. Thanks for listening to the Think Big podcast. If you can do me two big favors, if you can subscribe to the podcast to continue getting updates whenever new podcasts drop. And also, if you can scroll to the bottom of the page and just give this podcast a review. We want to continue pushing it out to more people, sharing what we're talking about, and educating more people in the building industry. I would also like to say a huge thank you to two of our sponsors, All About Flooring and Go Digital. If you're interested in sponsoring the Think Big podcast for 2025, be sure to reach out to the HBA of Greenville today. Thanks.